In this video, we're going to learn how we can customize a DGN library that is provided in your workspace. It's an empty file. There's nothing in here to where we could add our own feature definitions and or element templates, and it would be picked up by the workspace. And there is a README file in here that talks about it somewhat. You'll see the path here I have for the English workspace. And so you'll see that path where this file is stored. And then I have also a path for work sets. And so you'll see the work set path here. The difference is if you make the changes at the workspace level, then everybody that uses, for example, the AEC English workspace will see your changes. If you put it at the work set level, which is the path that I have here, then the only people that will see these additions will be people working on that particular work set or project. And so we're going to do this at the workspace level. And should you make a mistake, there is a copy of this file where it's empty. So in the empty file backup folder, it's the same file, but it's just empty. So if you feel better about starting over, you can certainly do that. So let's go ahead and open up this file in OpenRoads Designer. So we're going to open that. You may be prompted to select your active workspace to go ahead and open the file. So just use the active workspace. That's what you want to do. And before I get started on making a feature definition, I just want to show you a diagram here that shows how they fit together. You can ignore the red boxes for this discussion. Those are related to text. But the way that they work in OpenRoads Designer, the feature definitions, is you have your MicroStation basic properties, like what's the color or weight of a line. That information feeds into a MicroStation level, which is here. And other things then, besides a MicroStation level, can feed into element templates. So I've given some examples here. So your color, style, weight, etc. feed into your level, MicroStation level. Your MicroStation level then feeds into your element templates, and then your element templates will feed into your feature symbology, and then your feature symbology will feed into your feature definition. So these are the steps on the ladder to produce a linear feature definition. And I'm going to open up Explorer. You can get to it here as well. And in the OpenRoads Standards category, if you expand down, this is what shows up in the current file that I'm in. So you'll see we don't have any linear feature definitions. If you expand libraries, and that will take a minute or so, it will show you the feature definitions included within the workspace itself. In our example, I want to create a feature definition called gutter flow line and put that under the linear transportation folder structure. And so we need to use that pretend like for our templates. So how do we do this? With your feature definitions expanded, you'll want to right click on your linear category and select I want to open a feature definition wizard. And this takes you right into creating a new linear feature definition. And so on this, I want to put in my name. So I'm going to put in gutter flow line. And I need to pick my path. My path is going to be under linear and then transportation. And you can see your linear paths down here in this area. You can't select from that area, but that'll give you a layout of what they look like. And so that's because we have this feature type linear selected. Once you have your name in, we'll hit the next icon. Now we need to create our linear feature symbology. And I'm going to use the same name here. It's going to be gutter flow line. I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard because I'm going to have to type that name in a couple more times. Then we need to select the linear feature symbology path. And in this one, I'm just going to pick the transportation path. And I want to create a new element template for my linear feature symbology. And now I need to set the element template path and that's going to be under CAD levels, civil, and then road, streets, and highways. We also need to put in the name of the element template, which again, I'm just going to call it gutter flow line. And then we need to set the level that we want to draw this on in our linear plan view. So that's going to be C, road, and then curb, just here. And I'm going to leave the color, style, and weight all set to by level. So we're going to create a new linear feature symbology that feeds into our feature definition called gutter flow line. We're going to put it in this path. We're also going to make a new element template called gutter flow line, and we're going to put it in this path, and we're going to assign it this level, color, style, and weight. Then we're going to hit next again. And this time we need to create the profile feature symbology. So in other words, what do we want this line to look like if we were to view it in the profile view? I'm going to give it the same name again, and we're going to pick the same path just for consistency. So I'm going to go to Profile and Transportation. And we're going to, instead of making a new element template, we're going to use the same element template that we created for the plan view, the linear feature symbology in the prior step. So we need to pick transient. And when we do that, it fills in everything just like we did for the linear feature symbology. So we have the name, the level, color, style, weight. Everything is filled out appropriately. So we'll hit next again. And now we come in to fill out our feature definition properties. For the description of this linear feature, I'm just going to call it gutter flow line. If you want to use this when you're working on templates and you want to have this geometry drawn in your plan view, you would set create template geometry to true. And then you want to select finish. Now we go back to our diagram real quickly. This should have created an element template, a linear and a profile feature symbology, and a linear feature definition. So let's check our element templates. You will see there is the element template that was created in the folder structure that we specified with the proper level assigned. Let's check our feature symbologies. We have one for profile and one for linear. Here is our profile feature symbology, and if we select on properties, we can easily see that it points to that element template that we created. So that is good. Now we're going to check our linear feature symbologies, and there is a glitch in the wizard. This is new technology. It creates the initial path for us, so you can just right click and delete that one. And then underneath transportation, we again have gutter flow line, and again it's pointing to that same element template, so that is correct. And then lastly, we have our linear feature definition, and it has the information that we typed into that last screen. So to test that we've done everything correctly, we'll need to restart the product so that DGN library can be read in again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pause the video for just a moment. And to complete my test, I'm going to actually make a new file. I don't want to go draw something in my DGN library, so I'm just going to make a new file here. Right? Make my test file, let that open up. And so now if we go over, for example, to geometry and to place a feature definition, we should have the option then to select gutter flow line under our transportation category, and you'll see that that now shows up, and we can place a feature definition, and it will be drawn to the proper symbology. And so you will see that we have the level C road curb, and it is a linear feature definition that could even be used in modifying your templates in your template library. So this is how we can add our own custom linear feature definitions by modifying the DGN library to add those in. One final note on this, if you only need to add in some customized element templates, you can come in and create those manually just by right-clicking, making your own folder structure. You can select a new template, or If you want to just make a copy of this one, either way, it doesn't matter. I could say copy and paste and then give this a new name. If I only wanted an element template, and I could just say, gutter top or whatever, just making something up here. And then I could assign that a different level if I needed to. I can also add things like, customized text styles, cells, you name it. Just by right-clicking, you have the ability to add additional information to those element templates. And then as you go to draw, if it's just MicroStation related, you can come in and turn on element template association. You can select your element template that you want to follow, and then you'll have the option then to pick from that. So you have that ability to customize these at will and use either your own custom element templates and or your own feature definitions. Now in this example, I strictly showed how to add a linear feature definition, but let's say, for example, you wanted a point feature definition, or maybe you wanted to add a new survey feature, whatever you want to do. It's just a matter of right-clicking on that category and then right-click and then open the feature definition wizard, and you would walk through the steps. So again, this is brand new technology. It is still undergoing some changes, but it works well enough for this video in terms of your usage, and you should be able to work through this properly. Just keeping in mind, this is how everything flows together, and you will be set to create these feature definitions.